Hey y'all, welcome to Vlogmas Day 3. Today, we are talking about internet. How do you get internet when you're traveling on the road? And it can be very frustrating, let me tell you. Like first world problem, like you want to throw the computer, the tablet, whatever to the phone when it ain't cooperating. Cooperating? Yes, cooperating. Cooperating. Take it away, babe.
All right, so internet on the road. There's a lot of resources out there to get internet on the road. Most of them are going to leave you a little bit frustrated. You need to have multiple solutions if you absolutely depend on it. Now, if you're just a traveler and a blogger, you can use a hotspot and you can go to coffee shops and stuff like that. But if you're working from the road where you have to be online, like I have to be online for 8 hours a day, sometimes up to 16 hours a day, and it has to be a steady, continual internet connection. It doesn't have to be super high speed, but it has to be a steady internet connection. And sometimes I do need high speed data. And Candace in her business needs to be able to both download and upload video. And the
video with clients.
Yeah, and the video upload sometimes is a little difficult. Sometimes you get good download speeds and horrible upload speeds. So you gotta work around it, and you gotta have multiple solutions, because in some places one solution works great, in some places it doesn't. Yeah. So we have an unlimited data plan with Verizon and an unlimited data plan with AT&T, and these are unlimited data plans that are no longer offered anymore.
Yeah.
So sorry, can't help you with that. You can go out there and purchase them
in the real unlimited.
Yeah, you can go out there and purchase them in the gray market. And
gray, is that what you call it? Gray?
I call it the gray market.
Black market.
Not really the black market, but you can purchase them and have them transferred to you, and hopefully it doesn't get killed in the transfer. Verizon's quick to kill things that don't quite conform with their current plans. So we have a Verizon and AT&T grandfathered unlimited data plans that aren't offered anymore. If you're looking at unlimited data plans, you need to pay attention to their tethering specifications, because most unlimited data plans are unlimited on the phone, but if you tether to a computer, they can detect that. And there's some ways to get around detecting that, and you can go research that on the forums if you'd like to do that. But they detect tethering, and then they will cut you off at whatever cap you have. Like Verizon's typically 15 or 22 gigabytes. So you use 22 gigabytes of data, and Verizon is Nazi-ish with it. They will cut it off. They say they cut it down to like 600 kilobytes a second, but it's basically useless. You can't do anything with it. AT&T applies the network congestion model when you hit their data cap, at least what we've seen. And AT&T is a little bit more forgiving, and if there's not network congestion, you still get pretty decent data. At least that's what we've experienced when we've been subject to any type of data caps. In our early days on the road, we ran into huge problems with primarily Verizon. Verizon was hard and fast, killer connection. I couldn't work. I had to actually go and pay for dedicated data. It cost us a fortune, but it was the only way we could work on the road. So if you have to work on the road, you need to make sure you pay for dedicated data or something, or have multiple options at your beck and call. So what we use for Verizon and AT&T is two little jetpacks. There are better products out there, and you see these have the nice little zip ties around them, because the batteries in these things tend to swell over time, and you have to replace them, and we just haven't replaced them.
And we dropped them multiple times, so the back don't...
The backs don't really fit. The batteries are swollen a little bit, so these are about due for replacement. We've been holding out for replacement because I would really like to not spend money on replacing these, only to have 5G modems come out, or 5G capable modems come out. I'm waiting for those to be really widely available and a little bit more popular. We would like to just upgrade to a 5G capable modem on both of them. In fact, there's modems out there that will do bonding, and you can run both SIMs in the modem and use a service to bond the connection. Results are mixed on that. Some people say it's great, some people say it's not. I want to try it out and see if we can actually overcome some of our internet options or internet issues with that. But multiple carriers, multiple jetpacks.
Don't mind the dog.
Yeah.
Sorry.
In order to ensure that you have coverage. We found that in the cities, excuse the dogs, they're acting up. We found that in the cities, we tend to get better coverage with Verizon in most cities. And we found that out away from the cities, AT&T tends to work better for us. And I say tends because that's not a hard and fast rule. Sometimes AT&T works better, sometimes Verizon works better, and sometimes neither of them work. And in that case, you're just out of luck. We've had to actually move a couple times because of our internet connection. Yeah. A way to enhance your internet connection, surprisingly enough, is this little $20 Netgear MIMO antenna. Now our modems, we made sure that we had an antenna input, so you've got the little connectors, I think these are TS9 connectors, that plug into the modem, and then you take this and you go around your RV and stick it in the window and test your signal until you find a window that's facing a cell tower. Or you use an app to figure out where the cell towers are, and you put this in the window, and it will actually give you a little bit more signal strength. Believe it or not, this works most of the time for us. This particular one has sat in the dash a few times. I don't recommend that because if you look at it closely, it's a little warped and melted. This one is our other one. It's not warped yet. It probably will end up that way, but they don't leave them in the dash. It's not good. Yeah. But these are cheap and convenient, and they work most of the time. Yeah. The other option that we use that we don't have here for you to see because it's in the RV is called a Weboost LTE booster. It's a actual electronic device that has an external antenna, and we've got an antenna for the truck and we've got an antenna for the RV. And you plug it in, you plug it into 12 volt power, and if there is a signal available, it can boost that signal and give you sometimes usable internet. But it has to be able to catch a signal. It doesn't make a signal magically appear out of nowhere, but if it can catch that signal that's like half a bar, that littlest bar that you're getting like less than a megabit download speed on, sometimes it'll boost it up to 5 to 10 megabits download speed and give you actual usability. And the nice thing about the Weboost is, unlike an antenna that is a single device unit, the Weboost has an internal antenna for the inside the truck or the car, and you can actually stick your cell phone under it, multiple cell phones under it, multiple jetpacks under it, and it can boost the signal up to 5 or 6 devices. So it works for everything. It's helped out a lot when we've been in really remote areas. It helped out a lot in Alaska and Canada, and some in some of the national forests. And the higher you can get the outside antenna, the better it works. It's not the end all be all, it's just another resource. Yeah. Now, another thing that we're going to go to when we get our other modem that we want to get that supports 5G is a full-blown external antenna, because antennas are actually, at the end of the day, probably better throughput than boosters. So I would rather stick with an antenna, and I want to get an antenna on a telescoping pole that I can run up pretty high into the sky. And cell service is line of sight, so the higher the antenna, the better line of sight you have. And that antenna feeding the router internally, and a better router should help round out our signal options. But that's our future plan. It's kind of been on the back burner because I want a 5G supported modem, and those have been slow to develop. I don't want to spend the money on it, just turn around and spend the money again. Yep. And to be honest, we've been able to get by with what we've got. When everything fails, you pack up the backpack, you throw the computers in it, and you go to the coffee shop. And we've had to do that a few times. And we found that local coffee shops are mixed bag for internet speed. Yeah, you can browse the internet, but you can't really do any real work on it, and they tend to be noisy, and we got phone conferences and stuff like that, so that sometimes doesn't work out so well. Starbucks actually has been pretty crappy for their internet. What we found the best coffee shop or restaurant internet so far has been Panera. Panera, we were able to push 80 to 100, over 100 megabits a second downloads at Panera. It supported it really well, and they've got a pretty robust Wi-Fi infrastructure at their restaurant. You can go get your coffee, your meal inside, park your truck in the parking lot close to the building, still get great Wi-Fi, and you've supported the business, you got fast Wi-Fi, and there's no noise out there other than maybe cars driving by, so it's a little bit more business friendly. The last thing I will talk about is long-term stays. There are some places that if you stay for more than a month, you might want to look into actually getting cable internet or wired internet. If the RV park offers cable at your site, odds are you can call that cable service provider and get a modem from them.
Yeah.
And we've done that too. And that's like the pinnacle of our mobile internet, is where we're actually sitting someplace for like 3 months and we get a modem, we plug into the modem, we have full-blown cable internet. And that happens when we stay someplace for a long term.
Yeah.
What you got to add?
That's all I was going to say, but he did pretty good on the list over there.
Yeah.
So that, like I said, I was going to add that, the cable modem, if you're long term. We always look forward to that when we go back, especially if we've had a couple months of painful trying to connect with just the modems. But we make it work, it's part of the lifestyle, kind of to be expected. And like he talked about, all the ways to get it. If you can't get it with your own, and you find places locally that you can go and do your work at, and of course make sure you support the business. That is so important.
Yep.
But that's all I have really to add about it. You did a good job.
Thank you. Finally, there's some really smart people that run a forum. It's RV Mobile Internet, I believe it is. It's
We'll find it for sure.
Yeah, we'll link it in the description.
Mm-hmm.
And if you Google Technomadia, they're right there. They've got a forum. It has some public information, which is pretty good, and gives you an idea how useful their forum is and their material is. And if you pay for their subscription, you get access to probably more information than you'll ever use, to be honest. I look at it when I have questions. I look at their breaking news. You get updates on the latest and greatest unlimited data plans, what the pros and cons are of those, and you also get a warning if Verizon or AT&T or anybody else is canceling plans or going after people and cutting their service off. So it's a great resource. We'll link it in the comments below. Should have looked it up and got the exact name before we did the video, but yeah, whatever.
Comments.
We'll put it in the comments. Go visit that.
Description box.
Yeah, comments and description box and all that stuff that's on social media. Go look at their stuff. Highly recommend paying the subscription and getting access to their members only content, because it's great content. And again, they'll give you more information than you can probably deal with.
Okay. That's it. If you have any questions about internet connectivity, modems, etc., do what he said with the forum. We're on that, obviously.
Yes.
We're on it, so we can speak well for it. And Jeff is really well researched. He won't tell you that, but he'll get it down to the nitty gritty, okay, on stuff. So any more questions again about any of this internet stuff, modem stuff, let us know. Drop it in the comments. Share this video. Share it wide. Share it as much as you want or can. We really appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you'll know when we put out another video. And that's it. Thank y'all so much for watching.
Go ahead.
I'll enter it in a second. You're gonna cut that out, so right?
I know. So go ahead.
Wait, I don't even know what is the.
We're doing how we do our internet.
Oh. All right.